Hello, welcome to Potentials. I'm your regular host, Afolabi Adun. I'm a life skills coach, and I'll be taking you to today's session on time management. I'd like to talk to you about the way you use your time. We use our time. You know, I did a personal study on time some years ago, a personal research on time, and I discovered certain things. The first thing I discovered about time is that as far as time is concerned, God is 100% fair. Of course, God is fair. God is fair. Please don't get me wrong. But in many areas, He has not dealt with everybody the same way. For example, you may have more money than I do. I might be taller than you are. I might have more skills than you do. I might have more. But when it comes to time, God ensured that He gave everybody on planet Earth the same time. Nobody has more than 24 hours in a day. The rich, the poor, the black man, the white man, the whoever, the male, everybody has 24 hours in it. So that's what I meant by when I said that God is 100% fair when it comes to time. He has not given us the same talents, the same money, the same resources, the same complexion, the same height, but He has given us the same quantity of time. So nobody has any excuse. So when you say I didn't have time, it's a matter of priorities. You have time for what you make time for. So the first point is everybody has 24 hours in a day. What you do with yours is now the difference, and what I do with mine. That's the first point I discovered about time. Number 2 point I discovered about time. Every time we say time is going, time is not going. It is you that is going. It is me that is going. Because every day you are getting older. It's not about time. It's about you. It's about you. So keep that in mind. Time is not going. You are going. Number 3, time spent can never be recovered. Time wasted can never be recovered. Time is a perishable resource. That's the third point. You know what they call perishable resources? For example, in economics, it's perishable goods like tomato, like pepper, things that you cannot store. The same thing with time. You cannot store time. You cannot keep time. I want to keep. Today must not move. I want to keep it. Even if you don't use it, you still cannot get it back. So time is a perishable resource. If you do not use it, then you will lose it. All right. Now, having said that, let's now look at some time management tips. How can I manage my time better or even maximize my time better? Number 1, learn to plan ahead. Plan ahead. Always be futuristic in your approach to things. Don't be somebody who just does things. Be proactive. I think that's a better word. Anticipate problems before they occur. Never leave undone till tomorrow what can be done today. So number 1, learn to plan ahead. Number 2, concentrate on the important parts of your activities. There are so many things we do that are not important. Though they are expedient, though they are nice, but that does not make them important. Do not do things based on urgency. Do them based on importance, based on priority. Number 3, resist the temptation to procrastinate. There will be temptation to procrastinate. There will be the temptation to procrastinate. I'll do it later. There's still time. There's no hurry in life. Brothers and sisters, there is hurry in life. There is hurry in life. Never leave undone till tomorrow what can be done today. Procrastination is the thief of time. So don't procrastinate. That's number 3. Number 4, write down your top priorities for the day. Write down your top priorities. What are the things you want to achieve? Number 5, have a daily action plan. You can call it a to-do list if that's what you want to call it. Have a daily action plan. Have a monthly action plan. That's the way I operate. I have a daily action plan. I don't just do things on the spot. I know what I want to do, where I want to do, and the estimated time. Next, tackle small and large things in a day. Don't say, well, let me just leave all this and do this. No. Try and ensure that you multitask. That's the next one. Learn to multitask. What is multitasking? Doing more than one thing at the same time without anyone suffering. You do them effectively. Learn to multitask. That's the next point. The next point, try and get the hard work done as early in the day as possible. Because as the day moves, you get tired, you get weaker. So if you know you have major things to do, try and get the hard work done earlier in the day. All right? Then wake up early. That's the next point. Wake up early. I just told you have 24 hours. Don't be somebody who oversleeps, who's never, we're all going to rest in peace when our Maker calls us. So don't be in a hurry to start resting now. Wake up early. Wake up a little earlier. Sleep a little later so that you can make the best of your time. Next, keep the distractions you love out of your sights. There are many things that are distracting you. If it's your phone, for example, that you know every time you have a message on social media and it beeps, you must look at it. You might need to keep that phone aside. If it's your whatever it is that is a distraction to you, keep it out of sight so that you can face the things you want to do. Next, think of time like money. I like that. Think of time like money. How do you treat money? Have you ever asked yourself, how do you treat money? Do you waste money? You don't waste money, so why do you waste time? Have you ever had anybody say, I have enough money, I don't need any more money, I have enough money? No. So why do you say you have enough time? Think of time like money. Money and time have a lot of things in common. You either spend money, invest money, or waste money. You either spend time, invest time, or waste time. The major difference between time and money is that if you lose money, you can get money back. But if you lose time, you can't get that time back. Except God just wants to help you with his rare to buy back lost time. He can do that. In some cases, he can help you to buy back lost time. So all the time you have wasted, it just opens a door for you and you get everything. That's fine. But that's not God's regular. You are supposed to maximize your time. Even in the Bible, it says we should teach us to number our days. All right? So please think of time like money. Don't you audit your money? Don't you check how you spent your money? At the end of the month, your salary is finished. Don't you say, what did I use my money for? And then you begin to check. The same way, you check how you use your time and make the best of it. All right? All right. Next, create artificial urgency. What's artificial urgency? The urgency is not there, but never tell yourself there's no hurry. Put yourself under deliberate pressure in relation to time. What do I mean? You have an appointment for 4. Think that you have the appointment for 3:40. Do it for 4. Tell yourself, the appointment is for 3:40 or 3:30. Artificial urgency. If you are that kind of person, you arrive earlier and you do things better. All right? Then give a little allowance for contingencies and unforeseen circumstances, because there will be unforeseen circumstances, things beyond your control. So don't say, I have to be there at 5, so I'm going to leave my house at 5 minutes to 5 because it's just a 5-minute walk. What happens if something comes up during the walk? So please give a little allowance for contingencies. All right? And then lastly, watch out for and avoid time wasters. Avoid time wasters. Avoid time wasters. There are 2 types of time wasters. We have self-inflicted. Well, first of all, what is a time waster? A time waster is anything that takes your time. That's the simplest definition. Whatever. And there are 2 types of time wasters. Self-inflicted time wasters and externally inflicted time wasters. What is the difference? A self-inflicted time waster is the one you cause. You are the one responsible for wasting your time. Example of self-inflicted time wasters would be poor planning, daydreaming, sleeping too long, gisting unnecessarily, and so on. Cut that off. Unnecessary visits. Then we have this externally inflicted. It's not your fault, but it's still your time. For example, your boss has sent for you, and you are waiting to see him for 30 minutes. He's attending other people. You can't see him then. So your time is being wasted, but it's externally inflicted. Sometimes too much protocol where you work or where you operate. Too much protocol, too much bureaucracy. So those ones are externally inflicted. All you need to do about that is try to manage them and recover from them as fast as possible. But for self-inflicted time wasters, work on it. Personal organization. Refusing to procrastinate. Sleeping too long. Gisting rather than doing what you ought to do. Unnecessary arguments. Social media, in some cases, could be a major time waster. You have to discipline yourself on how long you spend on social media. Except, of course, what you are doing there is productive. So these are things I put together for you. And then I want to show you the sequence. Whenever you have something to do, this is the sequence. Start with what must be done. When you are treated with what must be done, what is must? Compulsory. You start with the compulsory things. Then you go to what should be done next. So you start with what must be done. You have a whole list of things to do. Ask yourself, what is compulsory? What must I do out of this? You do that first. Then you go to what should be done. What is should? Strongly recommended. It's not as important as must, but it's very, very recommended. Go to what should be done. Then you go to what may be done. What is may? Optional. Optional. You don't have to do it. May. It's different from must. It's different from should. So you start with what must be done, go to what should be done, then you go to what may be done, and then lastly you end up with what can be done. Anybody can. If you don't do it, somebody else can do it. Don't reverse the sequence. Always follow that sequence. So that's what I have for you for on potentials today. Managing your time, maximizing your time. Remember the thoughts I shared with you concerning the research I had on time, and also remember this time management tips I just gave to you. They're about 10 or so. And you must value time. You must treat time well, because brothers and sisters, the major difference between success and failure, apart from other things, is the way they use their time. So that's what I have for you. Potentials is a weekly program. Watch out for the next episode. I'm your host, Afolabi Adun. My contact is 080-6121-4116. Thank you for watching Potentials. To sponsor Potentials, because we need sponsorship to put it on more channels and more platforms and to make more impact. The contact again is 080-6121-4116. See you at the top. Afolabi Adun. God bless you. Potential.